Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tsaqifatuzziyyan from Group T. In this section, I will present about innovations in teaching strategies of reading skills. The title is Teaching Reading by Using Verbal Football Game. The writers, Ria Oktarina Haryanto, Muhammad Okhtariansyah, and Kamus Priyono from Universitas PGRI Palembang. Points of agenda: 1. Background. 2. Method. 3. Procedure. 4. Result. And 5. Conclusion. One. Background. Based on the interview with the teacher of English at Negara Junior High School, minimum achievement criteria of junior high school was 70, but it was found that just 55% from 65 students in the 8th grade who reached about the minimum achievement criteria score in reading skills. It was assumed that the success of teaching reading influenced by some factors. One of them that should be mentioned here are methods for instruction used by teachers. To find the suitable method for the students, the teacher of English should be realized the conditions of the students, their abilities, motivation, attitude, and way of learning. To make the student interested in their reading, the teacher should give the variation of teaching reading. Game was one of the strategies that could help the teacher to improve the variation in teaching reading. In this case, the researcher chose game to be appropriate method because game can motivate students more interested to learn English and can increase their understanding in reading. Research objective. The objective of this research is to find out whether or not it is effective to teach reading by using verbal football game to the 8th grade students of Negara Junior High School of Palembang. This research used pre-experimental design. Next point is method. A pre-experimental method was used with the one-group pre-test and post-test design. Frankel and Wallen states that in the one-group pre-test and post-test design, a single group is measured or observed after being exposed to a treatment of some sort, but also before. The pre-experimental design also used because the researcher tried to investigate the score achievement in comprehending a reading text was investigated by using verbal football game by comparing the student's score before the treatment and after the treatment. The procedure of verbal football game is as follows. First, divide the class into 2 teams and each team appoints a captain. Each team should be about equal balance of understanding and ability. The topic is about text that has given. Second, a coin is tossed or similar for which team goes first. The third, teacher asks the referee asks question and the team with possession answers. If they get the correct answer, the ball gets passed to another team member who gets asked a different question. If it is correct, the ball keeps passing to other team members. If a question is wrong, then the opposition has a chance to answer the question. Fourth, questions should allow for short, closed responses. This is very useful for content review, but less useful for concept review. Fifth, teacher will need a minimum of 20 questions of varying difficulty. Questions should be in random order so a student is aware of the level of difficulty before being asked, and any student could be asked any question. Sixth, Fouls are committed by shooting off when it is not your turn, arguing with the ref and answering when ineligible. Refs are encouraged to use yellow and red cards. And the last, winning team is the one with the most goals at the end decision. The fourth point, result. Based on the data analyzed, it is found that the students' average score in the pre-test was 5,11 and post-test was 7,88. It shows that the results before and after giving treatment were significantly different. After giving treatment, the students' scores were higher than before. The pretest score was analyzed to measure students' previous achievement in reading descriptive text before conducting the treatment. In this research, the students were given a test about descriptive text in the form of multiple choices. The student had to answer 40 questions. The results in the pretest were where the highest score was 7 and the lowest score was 3,25. The average score of the pretest was 5,1, which were categorized poor. In this research, the post-test was conducted after the student has received the treatment in 4-6 methods. The students were given a test about descriptive text in the form of multiple choice, and the student had to answer 40 questions as the same as which was given in the pre-test. The result in the post-test, the highest score was 9,25 and the lowest score 7, the average score of the post-test was 7,8, which was categorized good. The result was satisfactory because it was the standard grade of minimum achievement criteria. Advantages and disadvantages. There are 3 advantages of verbal football game. 1. Advantages for the students. Teaching reading verbal football game by using verbal football game can improve the stimulate the students. They can be interested to research English. 2. Advantage for teacher verbal football game can be provisions of an alternative teaching technique or device for teacher in teaching reading. The teacher can make the students easier in learning reading. And 3. Advantage for independent. Verbal football game can make opportunities for relaxation as a break in the school day. The student and the teacher can be enjoying in teaching and learning reading. And there are disadvantages of teaching reading by using verbal football game. 1. The teacher always found some difficulties to manage and monitor the class. 2. The teacher could not walk around the class to lower the student's voice because the teacher has to read the question to each captain of each team. And 3. The game failed if the teacher cannot handle the class. It is because the game needs any attention from all of the students to apply the rules of the game. Last, conclusion. Based on the research of the findings and interpretations in the previous chapter, the researcher found out that verbal football game was effective to use in teaching reading comprehension to the 8th grade students at Setianegara Junior High School of Palembang. It was evidence-based on the result of the research that the students' average score in the post-test was 7,88, higher than the students' average score in the pre-test was 5,11. Said that by applying verbal football game is advantageous to encourage students to be active and communicative. to give a chance to share their ideas, to help students to solve their problem. For example, to answer the questions, to increase the students' critical thinking and self-confidence in reading, especially in descriptive text. So, it could be concluded that it was effective teaching reading comprehension through verbal football game to the 8th grade student at Tianegara Junior High School of Palembang.